So if those guys, you and Devon in the original photo in ECW, weren't set to succeed, what changed it? What one specific thing took you guys down the path that you ended up on in your career?
Me and Devon's willingness to succeed, to do anything to succeed, to realize that we had a special chemistry, and our finish. I knew that the finish would be instrumental in making the team. And I knew that right from Jump Street, we had to have something different that nobody had ever done before that's going to stand up and make people take notice. And, invented the 3D, the Dudley Death Drop. And that was like the first thing. That's the first move that me and Devon ever did together. So when I look at when I look inside the ring, I base everything around the finish. And then when I look outside of the ring, we went out there to steal the show every single night. Nobody was going to top us. And people would be walking away from the arena saying, "Oh my God, did you see the Dudleys and whoever they were working with that night?" On my Hall of Fame ring, they asked you what you want inscribed on it. And I remember the phone call, and Sue Aitchison had called and said, "Bubba, what would you like on your Hall of Fame ring?" Love Sue, great lady. And I said, "I want My Way." And she's like, "Oh, My Way by Frank Sinatra?" I said, "No, My Way by the Sex Pistols." And she started to laugh, because she's English. And to me, My Way represents not just me, my way. It's more about our way, me and Devon's way, because we knew we were never supposed to make it. We knew people weren't going to take us seriously. It's like we said in the Hall of Fame speech, we weren't the Road Warriors. We weren't the workers that, Ricky and Robert or Arn and Tully were. So we had to do things differently. We had to make ourselves stand out. And I'm happy to say that we did. I'll never sit here and tell you that the Dudleys are the greatest tag team in wrestling history, because that's so subjective. What I can say factually is we're the most successful team that ever existed. And those two guys that got together, for that very first night in like 1996 in South Philly, were never supposed to succeed.
Tell me about some of the finishers that you guys thought about that, just didn't quite make the list.
None. I came up with the 3D watching Dean Malenko versus Rey Mysterio on I think a Nitro. I saw Dean shoot Ray in and give him a pop-up like pancake face bump. And I said to myself, "Oh, wow, wouldn't it be cool if you could shoot a guy so high in the air that you could spin underneath him and catch a diamond cutter?" That morphed into the Bubba cutter, which I used a couple of times. I used it on Devon once. And then when me and Devon got together, I said, we need to do a tag team version of the diamond cutter because it had never been done before. And we went to the ECW dojo in Long Island. We took Spike with us. And that little bastard, that tough little son of a bitch, took about 100 of the ugliest 3Ds ever. And if you look at the first 3D we hit on him, it's brutal. It's brutal. It took a lot of time, to perfect the move and get it down. But we knew right from the beginning that was going to be it. I don't think we ever worked on another tag team finish.
How long did it take Paul Heyman to see that you and Devon were indeed the real thing?
That would be a better question for Paul. I knew that I saw it because when Devon first came to ECW, me and him feuded, and the feud went well, but people were getting really tired of the stuttering, dancing babyface Bubba. And one night I had a match against Jimmy Del Rey, and he completely exposed me, but exposed me in a good way where I was like, damn, I got to become a better wrestler. Because when I was trained originally, I was not trained well at all. And to this day, if I ever see the guy that trained me, I'm going to have a talk with him. What were we talking about? Concussion syndrome kicking in. The legit concussion syndrome. Can't remember what we were just talking about.
You were just saying that, you know, I'd have to ask Paul, but you believed in yourself, and Jimmy Del Rey kind of exposed, you know, your inabilities.
Babyface Bubba wasn't getting over anymore. They had Devon teaming with Axel Rotten, but it wasn't working in the ECW arena because everybody loved Axel and everybody hated Devon. So it's like, do we cheer for Axel or do we, you know, boo for Devon? And it was getting such a mixed response. And I knew that me and Devon had chemistry fighting each other. I'll never forget the night I went to Paul and Dreamer. They were both sitting at a table. And I said, listen, this babyface shit ain't working anymore. I said, I think I can pull off the heel version of, you know, of Bubba. I go, why don't you put me and Devon together and let's see what happens? Paul said, okay. That was it.
Wow.
That was it. Much like ECW, that was the creative process. If a wrestler felt strong about something and you went to Paul or Tommy, you know, at the time, because Tommy worked hand in hand with Paul, and you presented it in a certain way, let's do it. Because it's either going to work or it's not going to work. And if it works, we might catch lightning in a bottle. And if it doesn't work, we don't have to do it anymore. So that was the beauty of working in that company. And, you know, if he doesn't say yes on that first night, me and Devon probably don't get to achieve the level of success that we did.
Thank you for checking out this clip from my recent interview, and welcome to my brand new YouTube channel, CVV Clips. And as the name suggests, the clips from my longer conversations are going to live here. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on those little nuggets of goodness that we're going to have here.